Hello, Resurrection. What a strange time this is for our little church. The staff this morning had a very successful meeting that we held over our phones, over phone conferencing. The Zoom platform actually is what we used. We all were able to call in. Some of us were all over the country. We could all see one another. We could talk to each other, and we had a really successful meeting. And we talked about you the whole time. We talked about what we would do for you if worship is canceled this Sunday. And we talked about who of you might be in need and what we could do for you during this time. We've been working pretty hard so far today. I'm looking at my notes over here on the side. I want to tell you what we're thinking about right now. We're looking into ways to make sure that the phones are answered if there's no one here in the office. I'd like for people to work from home as much as they can, and I think we have a way to keep the phones answered, a way for people to get to their computers, their computer files from home, and things like that. So we should be able to continue on with business pretty normally at Resurrection. Now, worship is another issue. I think probably the bishop is going to ask us to suspend our worship for 2 weeks. Now, we're all saying 2 weeks, but I think we mean, when we say 2 weeks, I think we probably mean at least 2 weeks. That could be challenging for us. It breaks my heart to think that we may be doing without communion and actually doing without communion with each other for longer than that. So if this thing goes on longer than the 2 weeks, which it looks like it probably will, we may be looking into different creative ways to get communion with God and with each other, and we will surely keep you posted on that. I'm open to ideas. I know you're always eager to share those with me, and I appreciate every one of them. Keep emailing me, keep calling me, and we'll talk about those things. I think probably this Sunday at least, if the bishop asks us not to meet on Sunday, I think that Deacon Susie and I will find a good way to broadcast the Sunday service. I think we will have a Eucharist service, and we will pray the prayer that even though we cannot receive communion with our hands, that we receive it in our hearts. And we'll talk about that, and we will try to have a church service online that way. We'll see how that goes. We have a great big large back space here at the church, acres and acres of that beautiful countryside, and we may get a few together at a time and have small worship services out in the outdoors, if that would be permissible with all of the health authorities. We're looking at all of those different options. We will all be all of the staff will be making calls to you to make sure that everybody is okay. I certainly don't want to come into the homes of anyone with elevated health risks, but will do what I can to get communion to you and to be with you to say prayers, whether that's over the phone or in person or through your window or however we need to do that. Primarily, though, I want to reassure all of you of my prayers and my love for you, the prayers of the staff, the prayers of your church family here. We also want to pray for our doctors and our nurses who are going to be working so hard in the next weeks, and we want to pray that God will keep them safe from this. And our Easter this year is probably going to be very different, but can you imagine the Easter that we will have when we all join back together? So stay where you are. Let's do what they're asking us to do. It's just a really good idea and a responsible thing. It will bring us closer together in some ways, and in other ways it will be a real challenge, but we will make it through this. We always do. I love you, and I'm praying for you, and I'll talk to you soon.